Hey, how's it going, tricksters? My name is Nate Allen, and I will be your coach for this course. This is 100% online web asynchronous, meaning we do not meet at any specific time, but there will be specific days that things are due and planned. So I'm just here to explain how the course is run, make sure that I give you the bullet points, where to find things, but ultimately that's going to be up to you to click and read through and make sure that you understand what's expected of you in this class. So without further ado, let me share my screen and I will make sure that you guys understand what it is that you are supposed to be covering. I'm going to start with the Fresno City website just to make sure everybody knows how to log in. So you can check that out by just going to fresnocitycollege.edu. You can click on the quick link up here, My Portal, or you can go to Current Students and go to it that way. But we're trying to get to Canvas. Canvas is where everything is going to be housed. That is what is called our Learning Management System, LMS. And once you sign in, which I've already done, so it's going to streamline it, you will see your dashboard here and Canvas being one of them. That's one that you will frequent. So I would alleviate all the clicks and everything else and just favorite one of these Canvas sites for you to scroll and look and see which of your courses that you are enrolled in are published. Most instructors use this as their housing station for all of the content and assignments and things like that, interactions for the course. So you may see some now, you may see some later, or they may not use it at all. But you can see all of my courses for this. This is just for the spring of 25, but I may use this for a future course. So it's not exactly to date. Just know that the concepts and everything that we're going to be doing and the course outline and how we're running things is going to be the same. So let me start by going into our course here by clicking on trigonometry, the web class. Again, you can call me Coach or Alan, whatever you prefer. And I'm going to just start with the syllabus link. It is also in files if you wanted to check that out. And if you wanted to make it a little bit larger, you can click up here on the hamburger and it will enlarge so that you can read it a little bit more easily. All right. Otherwise, again, it's under files and you can maximize it even easier. All the information on here is solely for you guys. This is basically our contract for the course. If you have any questions, usually the answers will be on here. All right. So you can see my office hours and all that important information about the course and myself. There's an optional text, meaning you don't need the physical textbook, but you will need to buy access to both it and MyMathLab, which is what we will be using for our assignments, both online version of it. And again, if you wanted the physical text, you can buy the bundled version over at the library. Okay. Excuse me, the bookstore. So it's only $60 directly online. If you do buy a code from the bookstore, it will be a little bit more because they got to get their cut as well. So if you just want to get it online for the cheapest, that is directly through the website, and I'll show you how to do that. It's on Canvas. As far as that, because it is 100% online, you will need a webcam in order to do the exams. Obviously, for that, you're going to need the computer internet access. Tablet will work as well. The MyMathLab that I mentioned, which will be through Canvas, it's embedded in there, so it's not a separate site. It's just inside of Canvas. And then a calculator. You only need a scientific. You don't need anything special like a graphing, super expensive. And if you don't have one, on the exams, I will have a place that pops up that you can just use that for the exam. So you can use your phone on the homework, but not on the exams. So please bring a good attitude and try your best. Remember, you're in this class not only to learn the trig, but also to learn how to study for higher levels of math. Course descriptions there, all the things that we'll be talking about conceptually. As far as expectations, again, I'm not going to insult your intelligence. I'll let you guys read through this. Some of the learning outcomes that we should be learning by the end of the course, and our objectives a little bit more exact than the broadness of the previous. Homework wise, I'll explain a little bit more about that when I get to the course outline, um, which I have a calendar for, and make sure that you guys understand how the course is run and what's to be expected. But again, you can read through that. I do have some discussions, although not mandatory. I've tried those in the past, and it was just another thing that students were checking off of a list. So this is solely for you guys to ask each other questions, ask me, our TA, whoever that answers it first, but just a repository for questions on concepts or how the course is run, things like that. But please make sure that you're writing it as if you are in a college course, which you are, not as a text message or broken email to a friend, right? Like try to put in proper words and make sure that you're being kind and not accusing people of anything, or just be a good human. A few other things that we'll be talking about are individual quizzes. Those will also be embedded through Canvas via MyMathLab. Those will be done prior to each and every exam. Now, you can start those after any chapter. And again, it's one whole chapter's worth of stuff. So you might want to wait until the end. And you can do those as many times as you want up until the day before the exams. And I will only keep your highest score. All right. As far as notebooks go, I wrote a notebook to accompany this course that has some notes in it, some examples in it that we'll be doing, and then you'll be submitting those so that I can give you points for doing what you should. All right, those notebooks I have hard copies of if you want to come by and grab them the first week, or I have it electronically on Canvas so that you can just download that and write on it directly from a tablet if you have that availability. All right. As far as exams go, again, you will need a webcam for those. Make sure that you follow directions because you will have to download a lockdown browser. That basically means that you only have that browser open to take the quiz. Like if it was a paper and pencil, you only have that access. So no phones, no tablets or other laptops, computers off to the side. I'm going to therefore need to see your workspace. So again, make sure you follow the directions so that you don't get any points docked or zero. All of our exams will be comprehensive. That's a little bit different than probably what you've seen in the past. And I started doing this about 5 years ago because I would have students get to the final and they would totally forget about some of the earlier chapters and content. So I try to just sprinkle in a little bit here and there as we continue to progress through. And it's going to be 2 chapters worth for each one. That will be the key, the main concepts. But as you can see, each one starts and continues to have everything in it. Here's the good news. That means by the end of chapter 2, we'll have our first exam on just those 2 chapters. Then 3 and 4 mostly, with a little bit of 1 and 2 sprinkled in. Then 5 and 6 with a little bit sprinkled in. And then 7 and 8 with a little bit sprinkled in, meaning we now already have a look of a final exam by that 4th. And therefore, we should be ready and hopefully prepared for that final exam. All right, so that's why I started changing that. And because they are going to have a little bit more included, I included a little bit more of a percentage. So that way we can, if we get off to a slow start, have a growth mindset and still be able to conquer the course by the end. All right, that's the main goal by the final exam, you being able to show me that you have learned enough of the material to be successful in the next course or courses. All right, the final exam is going to be mandatory, but I will give you a little bit of a carrot dangling out in front. Unless you have an A, if you've already shown me through 8 chapters that we're going to be covering, you know it very well, excellently, then I'm going to let you skip the final exam and just keep your A for the course. Okay. Now I'm also going to do something for everyone else. I'm going to replace your lowest exam score with the average of whatever it is and the final exam that you take, as long as you haven't missed more than 2 weeks of classwork. All right. And I'll show you what that looks like when we get to the course calendar. All right. You also have to have a 70% average on all of those things that we're going to be submitting: the homework, notebook, and individual quizzes. That's meaning that you at least tried decently and we're on top of things and therefore deserve to get that little curve at the end. All right. You got any questions about that? Let me know. But again, try to set a precedence for yourself so that you can not have to worry about those things at the end. All right. And here's our grading criteria broken down for you. You can see that homework's going to be just under 10%. Notebooks, same. And this is all just effort. So you're getting about 17%, which is the same amount as our fourth exam, the one that's covering all sections. So make sure that you're working hard on those. And then the individual quizzes, again, you can do those as many times as you want. I'll only keep your best score as long as it's before the due date that they're included on, which is the night before our exams for those. All right. Other than that, A, standard 90 to 100. B, 80 to an 89.9. Notice there is no curving up because I'm already doing other curves. C, I am going to give you one extra little bump, 1%. Instead of a 70, I'm going to give you a 69% extra, 1% to earn that passing grade. All right. Same thing with the D, even though it doesn't help very much. You're still going to have to retake the course. So let's not talk about those. Let's not worry about that. Let's try our hardest and make sure that we strive for that C or higher. Few dates that you want to make sure that you know. Within the first 3 weeks, as long as you drop by the 31st of January, into the month, then you will be able to drop the course and not have anything on your transcript. Where if you drop after that date up to the halfway point, which is the 9-week mark, then you will earn a W, which does not count against your GPA, but still counts as an F would. You didn't pass the course. All right. Anything after the 9th week, then that means you've done over half of the class. You're going to get and earn a letter grade on your transcript. All right. Final exam here, you can see that date along with the others on our course calendar. All right. Some of the other things I want to make sure that you read through. Again, I'm not going to read them to you, but please do the disclaimer. Please read through that. I'd appreciate it. Cheating, you're only cheating yourself. Please don't do it. I don't want to have to go down that road with you. Respect yourself and your abilities and me as well. As far as anything else goes, you can see all the fun that we're going to be having here. But let me go back to our original course here under modules in Canvas. And you can see I have it laid out week by week. Now I'm going to post our new video here. This is an older one that I decided to update because I did switch a few things on how I run the course. But our syllabus and calendar, as mentioned here and under our files. So if you wanted to click on that, you'd be able to see exactly what I just went over along with our course calendar. I'm going to go over in a minute. The notebook electronically there for you if you have a tablet and want to access and write on it and submit that way. Otherwise, I have hard copies that you can come by during my office hours and pick up directly at Fresno City. If you're having trouble with the registering of MyMathLab, there's some instructions there. And then my office hours, along with the Zoom link for our 1 hour of Monday web office hour is linked right here. Okay, that's via Zoom. So if you want to get on it for any reason, feel free. Otherwise, there is much more information that I would love for you to post in the discussions. All right, general class questions or content for each and every unit I will have here for us. All right, so if you have any questions at the beginning here in that first week that you want to ask me, please do it on the discussion board, because then there's the ability for me, our TA, or your classmates to answer. And then everybody gets to see the Q&A back and forth rather than just you and me possibly having to answer the same question a multitude of times. All right. So that's all under the discussion board. So other than that, I'm going to just show you real quick what the syllabus and calendar look like. All right. Already went through the syllabus. The weekly modules you can see here, we will have, let me go to a typical week. I got the notes video, and then I got extra examples if you wanted to go over that. And then you can see the homework here. So each and every one of these are going to be what you're going to be working on. And again, once you click on those, it'll take you to my math lab. It's all embedded. All right. And again, the first time you're going to have to sign up, and it won't be available until the first day. So once you click on that, it'll ask you to either pay for it or enter the code that you bought from the bookstore. All right. So once you've done that, follow the directions. Then once the first day of the semester opens up, you will have access to that and be able to work directly within Canvas. All right. Other than that, let me show you really quick, just to make sure that we understand. The syllabus, again, I went over already very briefly, just kind of ran through it with you. Let me show you at the very end of it what the course calendar looks like, which again, if you want to print this off, feel free to. This is a good tool for you to make sure that you're doing certain things each and every week. All right. You can see in the first week, starting off really slow, just watching this video, getting used to Canvas, and then starting in on what I called homework 1.0, which is basically just showing you, hey, this is how you input and most importantly, sign up for my math lab. All right. Other than that, group quiz 1 is just a precursor to actually starting trig. These are going to be some basic prereq skills that we need to make sure that we have prior to starting 1.1, which will be our first and only section of trig for this week. All right. After that, we will do about 3 sections each and every week, as you can see on the regular, and then sometimes only 2 with a study guide, which I'm calling a group quiz. All right. So I'll give you those before each and every exam to give you some sample problems so that you can hopefully work through those and see what you still need some work on before you possibly see a concept like or a question like that on the exam. All right. So what I would like you to do is watch my videos. Let me go back to the modules real quick. After you've watched the video and taken notes in the notebook, then do a few of the examples, whether you watch them or actually physically do them in the book. Remember, you're going to be turning those in. If you need extra help, then watch those examples, right? But otherwise, do those examples before you start the homework. And remember all of those things, the homework online through my math lab via Canvas, and those notebook examples, you're going to have to turn in and submit by Sunday at midnight. All right. These are easy. They're already automatically submitted, but you are going to have to take and grab photos and upload as a PDF for the other notebook sections, which you can see right here. Okay. The instructions are on there. So just make sure that you follow those. And if you have any questions, again, post them to the discussion board. Other than that, if you have any other questions, again, feel free to let me know. Most of our exams will be at the end of the week on Friday, with the exception of this first one. It will be on a Monday. All right. We'll be having an exam about every 3 to 5 weeks. You can see this first one because we're starting off nice and slow this first week. It's going to be at the beginning of week 5. And then about 4 weeks later, we'll have another, and another, with the last week before being all just review in preparation for our final, which will be again on a Monday. All right. That's all I got for you. If you got any other questions, again, post to the discussion board. I look forward to you all doing excellently in the course. And again, my name is Coach Allen. I look forward to doing well in the course with you and helping you along the way. Take care, everyone, and good luck.